Good morning. You're in the loop. Every week we talk with the people who make San Antonio a better place to live. Thanks for joining us in the loop. Here's your host, Milton Glick.
And welcome to In the Loop. I'm Milton Glick, and that's exactly what we do. We get you caught up with the people, the organizations that are making San Antonio a better place to live. One of those people, gosh, Howie, how long have we been talking?
Well, we've probably been talking close to 29 years because
I know.
Gotcha Covered is 29 years old this year.
It's pretty close to that, but it's amazing. So we're going to talk about Gotcha Covered, which is coming up Sunday, December 7th, 9 to 3 p. Howie, what is Gotcha Covered?
Gotcha Covered, Milton, very simply, is a one-day collection drive here in San Antonio that has grown to be the largest single-day food and clothing drive in San Antonio. It takes place on Sunday, December the 7th at Park North Shopping Center, right there at Blanco Road and Loop 410 on a little street called Rector between Blanco and San Pedro. And we fill up 3 huge box trucks, sometimes 4, with new and gently used clothing, non-perishable food items, and toiletries, all of which stay right here in San Antonio and go to the people who need it most, and as distributed by Haven for Hope, the Food Bank, and the Battered Women and Children's Shelter.
Yeah, and timing couldn't be better.
It couldn't be better, right. Without getting into too much politics,
Right.
There's been some funding cuts. There's currently, as we record this episode, there is the government shutdown.
Yep, I know the Food Bank is working hard, and I imagine the other 2 agencies are also experiencing stuff too.
They are. They're working very hard, and they really, I mean, this is not one of those crying wolf things.
No.
I was at the Food Bank, and the shelves are barren.
Wow, that's just amazing. Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about Gotcha Covered. Let's talk about the 29 years. How did this idea start? Because this is a great story.
Right. So the idea started with a friend of mine and I. We both office downtown, and we'd walk to lunch a couple times a week. And there was a homeless guy that we would talk to, whenever we'd see him. And one day we invited him out to lunch, and he started telling us about a little shelter where he stays sometimes downtown. And when you get invited to see somebody's place where they live, in this case was a small shelter for men, you don't want to go empty-handed, right? You're invited to somebody's house. So we asked him what he needed. They were actually doing their own little drive, and he said, "Oh, well, we always need coffee and coffee cups and sugar and creamer." So we went and bought few bags worth of stuff. And back then, by the way, Milton, you could buy a pound of coffee for $4, $5. Now you can't even get a cup of coffee for that.
No,
But
it's true.
But we dropped that off, and he said, "Oh, thank you so much." We asked other people to bring stuff over, but so far we don't have much, and all of the donations could fit on a little 6-foot plastic table there at the shelter. And so I started thinking we could definitely do better than this. And my buddy and I decided to do a collection drive without really knowing much about collection drives. Neither one of us had ever volunteered at one. We had no idea. But since we were both in marketing-related businesses, we started leveraging radio stations and some TV stations and the newspaper, if you don't remember what that is. It was just a black and white printed thing that you paid for, and they delivered it to your house. And we got quite a bit of publicity, so much so that we didn't know what to expect. So we showed up with a pickup truck to this parking lot where the collection drive was going to be held. And we had more donations that would fit in 20 pickup trucks.
Wow.
So we went and got one of the box trucks from his family's furniture business, and we filled it up, and we had to find a place to take it all. And we gave it, I believe that first year, to Sam Ministries. And then we said, okay, well, now we know what to expect the following year. And I think maybe one of those early years is when you and I started talking, because we would come on this air and promote it. And it really, we worked on it for 2-3 months in advance. It was always towards the end of the year between Christmas and Thanksgiving. And it was a way to help supplement what these nonprofits needed. Eventually we started asking them specifically for a list of what they wanted that year, and that's what we've been promoting ever since. So when I say generically non-perishable food items, you can go onto our website, gotchacovered.org, or you can go onto the Food Bank's website and see what they need more of, but certainly jars of peanut butter, pastas, canned soups, canned meats, tuna, spam, that kind of stuff. And then by way of toiletries, everything you use at home. So shampoos, conditioners, toothbrushes, toothpaste, shaving cream, razors, all those things are greatly needed at the shelters. Then in terms of clothing, we will take used clothing. We say gently used, but really, realistically, if you have a box full of T-shirts, bring it. Somebody will use it. But pants and shoes and shirts, we ask for undergarments because the number one and number two most needed items at shelters are socks and underwear. Yeah. That we'll ask for new. But that's something that hasn't gone up in price too much, so you can actually get on an online retailer or go to one of the big box stores and buy a big package of socks and underwear and bring it that day to Got You Covered on December 7th. We're going to make sure it gets into the hands and onto the feet of the people who need it most right here in San Antonio. Nothing is sold. Nothing is sent overseas. Not that that's not a worthy endeavor, but it's nice to know that this stays here with the people who need it most.
So the website, again, you mentioned it, where you can kind of find out what you needed is?
gotchacovered.org, GOTCHA, covered.org. Or you could do something pretty cool and go to Google and look up Collection Drive San Antonio, and we come up first.
Imagine that. All right. I wonder why that is.
Somebody knows something about marketing.
Maybe so. All right. Well, listen. So let's talk a little bit. I got all kinds of questions, even though we've talked about it for all these years. Tell me about last year. How did last year go? Because every year is bigger than before, and every year I know you come out and you learn something.
So every year we strive to be bigger than the year before. There have been some years where we collect less, and it has a lot to do with what's going on in the economy. So last year was a very good year. We collected more than 70,000 pounds of donations.
Wow.
We did right about the same amount as we had collected the previous year. And we don't officially weigh the trucks, but the companies that are moving companies that donate the moving trucks, they know, because this is what their business is, they know how much they're hauling, and they can also tell visually. So it's been about 70,000 pounds the past few years. That's an uptick from what it was 4 or 5 years ago. The pandemic, huge year. Oh. And I thought that there wouldn't be as many donations because people were very nervous. And if you remember the first year of the pandemic, 2020, there were no vaccines out yet. So I thought people were going to be nervous. They're not going to come out. Everybody's at home wiping their groceries down in the boxes, the boxes that get shipped to their homes. But if you remember that year, towards the end of 2020, there were a lot of protests. And there were a lot of people were feeling philanthropic because I think they were staying at home, and they were looking for something worthwhile to do, something meaningful. And so we had a lot of donations. So this year, I talked to the nonprofits, and as you mentioned before, Milton, they really need items this year, and I expect it to be a good year, although the economy for Main Street, not Wall Street, but Main Street is a little bit tight right now. And while they say inflation has been going down, prices are still high. And so sometimes that happens. But I will tell you that San Antonians are very, very giving. They're very generous. And most of the people that come and donate are not driving fancy cars and SUVs. They're everyday people who understand that it's important to give others a hand up. And that's why we continue to do Got You Covered. It's important to mention we do it with no board of directors, no 501c3, and no bank account. Everything is organic, and we have friends that come together and put this event on.
So for people who've just tuned in, tell us what 2025's Got You Covered is, where it's going to be, what time, and then I'll ask you some more questions.
Okay, so Got You Covered 2025 is the largest single-day food and clothing drive in San Antonio. It'll be on Sunday, December the 7th at Park North Shopping Center between Blanco Road and San Pedro, right just south of Loop 410. If you can find the Target at Park North Shopping Center, you'll find us, because that street that Target is on is called Rector. And if you go from Blanco towards San Pedro, from Target to Guitar Center, you'll find us right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're right in between there. 3 big box trucks, got you covered. You can go to gotchacovered.org and see all the details, or Google or search in your browser, search for Collection Drive San Antonio, and you'll find Gotcha Covered. We have a map, how to get to us, the hours, those kinds of things.
So I go to the website, I see what to get. I go, oh, you know what? I can go run over to blankety blank. I can get a bunch of cans of tuna. That'll be good. And then I'll go over there on the 7th between 9 and 3. Big time gap, so there's no excuse. But what does it look like when I pull up? What'll happen?
Well, you pull up, you don't even have to get out of the car. It's like a NASCAR race. We have a
Really?
pit crew of volunteers
that
that
right?
will unload everything out of your car. Somebody from one of the nonprofits, Food Bank, Battered Women and Children's Shelter, or Haven for Hope, they'll write you a receipt through the window of your car if you want a receipt, so you can write it off on your taxes. And then we'll close your trunk and you can drive off. Now, some people get out and they look around a little bit and they ask some questions, and you're welcome to do that as well. And we'll have, I never count the number of cars, but it's in the hundreds of families, individuals, seniors that drive by and they said, oh, thank God you do this every year. We heard you on K-Loop. We always look forward to this event. We've been saving stuff. They bring boxes, bags. It would be good if you label the bags or the boxes men, women, or children.
Oh, that's
so we
a good
know what's in
idea.
there. But if not, it's going to get sorted anyway. But it helps us pre-sort it to put it in the appropriate box truck.
I want to be careful. You said that there are lots of cars that come by and lots of people that donate. For someone who is listening to this going, oh, man, there's going to be a lot of traffic. You guys, you're NASCAR-like volunteers.
Right.
You really, I mean, what's the longest you can imagine someone waiting? I think maybe 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
Really,
it just zip, 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 zip. It's great.
Right. A traffic jam is 7 or more cars, but it won't be more than 9.
Yeah.
And if we're unloading them in 20, 30 seconds,
Yeah.
it's really just 3 minutes. Like you said, 2-3 minutes. It's fast.
No, you need to. So we want people to. We're gonna do this in just a second. Kind of give them. We're a little early. We're about a month early, so we're gonna kind of give people a timeline of what they can do. I love your idea of going to the big box stores or going online and getting the underwear and the socks. So we'll talk about that again. But I am curious. You mentioned that people come and they come time and time again. What do they tell you? What do the people that donate to Gotcha Covered tell you about why they do it and why they do it every year? Why they save canned food or other articles the whole year waiting for this?
They remember somebody giving them a hand up sometime in their life. And the stories I hear is that now that they're in a position to give somebody else a hand up, they take that opportunity. And so I really love that concept. We've all needed a hand up. It could be financial, it could be food, but it might be emotional. It might be spiritual. And so when you're in a better position and you can give somebody else a hand up, sort of pay it forward, I think that's it's a nice thing to do. I look at it really as an obligation. It's almost like, I'm obliged to do it. If I'm in a position to do it, why not, right? And I can't tell you the direct ROI. I can tell you can write off your donations to your taxes at a 1 for $1. But I will tell you that meeting the people, and really very few, but meeting some of the people who are the recipients of these donations, I can't imagine not doing it because of what it means to them. I've met single moms who have 2 or 3 children who become homeless, who've been battered or abused and had to leave their home in the middle of the night and end up at the Battered Women and Children's Shelter with really just what they could carry. Sometimes kids in diapers, and we have baby clothes and formula and diapers and baby wipes and all that are brand new packages for them for when they get to the shelter. Battered Women and Children's Shelter I don't know the exact percentage, but one year the warehouse manager, we filled up their warehouse. There were so many donations that we ended up, they couldn't fit them anymore. So and don't picture like a football field Amazon size warehouse, but it's a decent size warehouse. They already had some donations there, but we filled it up. We left a little pathway in between for their volunteers to get through. But we took the extra stuff to another shelter because they couldn't fit anymore. And I remember her, the warehouse manager, telling me distinctly, her name is Madi. She said, Howie, we're going to have stuff here that's probably going to last us a whole year.
It's great. And that takes a lot of pressure off them.
It does.
I mean, they can do other things if they don't have to worry about this. That's terrific, and do other things to meet their mission. Do you have any? I'll give you your choice here. Let's do the little commercial again. Tell people what it is, where to go, where to find it.
Milton and I are talking about the 29th annual Gotcha Covered Collection Drive taking place on Sunday, December the 7th at Park North Shopping Center in between Target and Guitar Center. Sort of that's where North Star Mall is. And we will be collecting new and gently used clothing, non-perishable food items, and toiletries, all to benefit the local recipients that are supported by the San Antonio Food Bank, the Battered Women and Children's Shelter, and Haven for Hope. Okay, so
you and I have never done. GotchaCovered.org is the website to go to where you'll get all the information, including what to donate. I don't think we've ever done this before, so we've got about a month. So you and I, if you're okay with it, if not, we'll just stop.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to come up with a game plan.
Okay, let's do it.
Got a month to go. Okay. So number one, you mentioned this is where I'm going to start. You mentioned NASCAR-like volunteers who come out. Do you need volunteers? Can someone who's listening to this go, you know what? I'd like to donate, but I want to do more. I want to give my time to this.
Yes.
How do they do that?
Man, right. We haven't talked about that, and I am prepared. First, I was a little nervous, actually. Because said we'd never done this before. I was like, okay, let's figure out what's going to happen here. I don't know what I'm going to get asked. We actually have a volunteer sign-up form on the website.
Okay.
Same website, gotchacovered.org. Fill it out or show up.
Okay.
Show up between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. You don't have to stay the entire time. Come do an hour, 2 hours. I'll have volunteer T-shirts. I provide some food and soft drinks and waters for the volunteers. We will take, if you want to bring your kids, as long as they're, let's call it 13 or older, and they need some service hours, community service hours for their school, we're happy to sign off on those. Just don't drop them off because we're not a babysitting service.
Right.
And I say that half jokingly.
But I bet that it's happened.
Oh, it's happened. They're like, hey, can I drop my kids off while we go? I'm like, no, you
while the
cannot.
car is moving away.
They're pretty good. They're 14 and 16. I go, no, thank you. I appreciate it, but no. So definitely come out and volunteer. We've had very generous offers from big employers in San Antonio that want to send 30, 40, 50 employees.
Goodness.
But I always turn them down, Milton, because I'm not looking for a volunteer pool. I'm looking for people who really care, want to pay it forward. I really only need 2-3 dozen people there at any given time so we can be efficient and effective. And so we get it done organically, again, with friends. But every year we do have new volunteers that come out that heard about it or they donated in the past. And then some of them park their car. They donate, and then they park their car and they come help for a little while.
Okay,
yeah,
I
and
like
they get a free donut.
I'm sure that the reward is much greater than the free donut. Okay, so we talked about that. Go to gotchacovered.org. You can register or just come out the day of December 7th at Park North, right?
Park North Shopping Center.
Okay.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
All right, so let's talk now. I got a month. I can volunteer. Maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm just going to start collecting things.
Yes.
How do I do that? What do you suggest?
So, Milton, I know you've come out and donated, but if you were to get together with friends or family that can't make it out that day, then you can collect for them, get those bags, start storing them in your garage, and then that day bring them.
Okay.
And if, let's say you have a small sports car, just make 2 or 3 trips. and bring them all, and we'll unload them.
There you
Be
go.
great. And if you want a receipt for all those family members, just tell us the names, and we'll write out a receipt, or we'll leave them blank. And on the honor system, you guys can take them and fill them out. How about that?
There you go. So go to family, go to friends, go to
Yes.
neighbors, go to church members, go to whatever you got, and just say, hey, listen, I'm doing this. I'm collecting stuff. I'll make it easy on you. Just bring it to me next week, and you will start putting stuff up. What about, okay, so you mentioned going to the big box stores for underwear and socks and things like that. So when I go to H-E-B or Walmart or wherever I'm going to doing my Target,
right there.
Yeah, wherever
Less
I'm doing
driving.
my shopping, should I? Yeah, it's true. There's less stuff. Should I say, okay, I got the list with me. I'm going to get my stuff, and I'm going to grab 5 cans of food for Got You Covered.
Yes.
What do you think?
I like that. That's great too. So, and you can do that over time, right?
Yeah, I was
Because how
gonna
many
say.
times you're going to go to the grocery store between now and then? Probably 22 times.
Exactly.
And get 1 or 2 cans each time you go.
Yeah.
There might be something on sale. Don't feel bad. Buy cans of tomato sauce or pasta sauce or something, and have all this extra stuff. We want some things that don't break. So no glass for sure.
Okay.
But
good to know.
But cans, plastic, cardboard boxes, yes, and you can get a case of ramen for 12 cents. You know, that didn't go up that much. You know,
Yeah.
thank God my kids love ramen. But yes, do a case or 2 of ramen.
Okay.
We had somebody last year from a podcast that I was on. They did an event, and they raised $2,000, and they wanted to give us $2,000. I said, thank you so very much. However, we don't have a bank account, so we don't take money. So I asked the hosts of the podcast to go with me, and we went shopping at a Walmart, and we spent $2,000. We
Oh,
got
my
like
gosh.
12 grocery carts full of stuff.
I can't even
We got
imagine.
kids' clothing, canned goods, cases of tuna, all kinds of stuff.
How fun is that?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I bet it was.
Put it on social media, and it inspired other people, and then other people went and bought a bunch of things. Here's something, since we're doing new questions never done before in
What's that?
29 years.
What?
Ask me what kinds of things we don't want donated.
Howie, okay, we've talked about things we do want donated. What don't we want donated? Got you covered.
All right.
December
Well,
7th.
thank you for asking. That's an excellent question.
I thought it was.
I'm going to go through some of the items that people have donated in the past that
Okay.
we don't want and can't use.
Gotcha. Go.
And it doesn't mean that we're not grateful. It just means that it's not for us. No furniture.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No lawnmowers. Somebody brought a lawnmower with 3 tires, 3 wheels on it. Half open can of paint. We don't need cans of paint. Not new, not
Yeah,
used.
no, that's...
Okay. Lamps that don't work, we don't want them. We actually don't want lamps. But definitely don't bring the ones that don't work
No,
either,
yes.
right? And so if you can think of the things that you use at home every day to get ready to go to work, all the toiletries.
Okay.
We mentioned shave cream. Towels are good, new or used towels.
Oh, good. Okay.
If you don't have a chance to wash everything, or don't rewash everything, don't refold it, don't put it on hangers, we'll take care of all that. But if it's clean already, even better. Okay? And then what you wear. If you have scarves or gloves or things that'll keep you warm, jackets, we'll take blankets. A few years ago, Methodist Hospital had a program called Blankets for Babies, and they had a collection drive. And then they couldn't continue it for whatever reason, and they knew about Gotcha Covered. They've actually supported Gotcha Covered. So they said, hey, is there any way you guys can use some baby blankets? Not only can we use them, we'd like to continue collecting blankets for babies. And so we incorporated that. So now a lot of people bring us baby blankets.
Oh, very cool.
And we have a place to take those where they're much needed. If you have strollers and car seats, new or not new, we'll take them.
Okay.
Okay. But, okay, back to the we don't need list.
Mm-hmm.
No mattresses.
Okay.
If you want to bring new pillows, bring new pillows.
But new.
But new. Don't bring old pillows. Don't bring things that your dog chewed up. Don't bring dog toys. Don't bring puzzles that are missing pieces. Don't even bring puzzles.
Yeah, whether they're missing pieces or not.
Right. There are great toy drives. if you want to buy new toys, I promise you those will get used. But new toys, great. But again, new and used clothing, non-perishable food items, and toiletries. Those are the big 4 categories.
What about like plastic bottles of laundry soap, things like that? That have not been opened, but okay.
Yes, laundry soap, detergent, those kinds of things. Great point.
Okay.
We'll take used sheets.
Oh.
We need sheets of all sizes, twin, queen, king. They'll use them because if you have small, I don't want to call them appliances, but small housewares. If you have a box with some pots and pans and you never opened it, we'll take that because in the transitional centers, they help people get their own housing. So they'll leave the shelter and then they'll need some pots and pans. But I wouldn't take all your old bent, beat up pans that have no more Teflon and then bring them.
All right, we have run out of time, but this is great. This flew by, didn't it?
It always goes by fast.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? All right, so tell us one more time real quick before we run out of time. What's coming up? What's this we're talking about?
29 years of the Gotcha Covered collection drive. Organic, friends coming together, no board of directors, no 501c3. This is people coming together to collect new and used clothing, food, and toiletries, all for people right here in San Antonio in Bexar County. And all those items that you donate on Sunday, December the 7th, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. at Park North Shopping Center, between Blanco Road and Loop 410 on a little street called Rector, near Target, near Aquatots. If you can see Aquatots, you could see us. All of those items at 3 o'clock, the box trucks get closed up. We go and deliver them to the warehouses of these nonprofits on Sunday. And on Monday morning, those things are being distributed to the people who need it right here in our community.
Perfect. GotchaCovered.org. GotchaCovered.org. Or if you want more information, it's on our website. We'll post it with the interview. Howie, thank you so much.
Milton, always a pleasure.
Thanks for doing it, and thanks for coming in. All right, we're going to say goodbye for today because we've run out of time. I'm Milton Glick. Join us next week as we keep you in the loop.
Thanks for joining us in the loop. We look forward to bringing you next week's show with Milton Glick.